day, everyone, and welcome back to No One Made Mention of This, brought to you by Kiva
and Servant.
Yeah, today we'll be discussing about while being a student, and there will be a lot of stuff to discuss here as we have been able to carefully bring out topics and seek opinions from several other mates in our school year. So firstly, we would like to discuss about what it is being a student, and I would like to leave that to Servant.
Okay, now first let's elucidate on the topic first. Like, why being a student? Like, just means like the process of you being a student. Like probably the 5 years you are going to spend in school. How should it be spent? Like, what are the things? Like, as being a student, aside from your school activities, probably the things you need to develop. So that's what we're going to be discussing. Like, why being a student?
I'd like you guys to put at the back of your mind that the podcast might be a little bit biased based on the fact that it will be more directed towards medical students than normal students. Regardless, we normal students or several other students can also listen to this and pick reasonable points or knowledgeable points that you can get from here and just make use of it.
So now let's dive into the topic, why being a student. Now, as a student, the first thing you have to recognize is you need to be self-conscious of yourself. Like, what actually brought you to school? That's the first thing. And what's your goal, as a student? Because now, we only have, let's say, 3 grades. To be a first-class student, a distinction student, or to just be a normal, regular passing student, or to be a failing student. So that's the 3 things.
First class and distinction are not the same thing.
And I said they are the same thing.
So you said you have 3 grades, right?
Yeah, first class or distinction.
Or distinction. Then we have the average student.
Normal passing and then the failing one.
And the failing one. Okay.
So that's the first thing. You need to recognize which kind of student do you want to be. Like someone like me now, I want to be a distinction student.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of position I put myself
that's
into.
Very important. In some other cases, some people start off with the fact that they want to be a distinction student, and along the line they see how the old
exactly how stressy.
I can testify to that because I was something like that, and then the whole thing just overwhelms you and be like, oh, cash out the pass,
exactly.
You should just pass the whole thing.
So it's stressful.
The major thing.
So the first thing you need to recognize, which kind of student do you want to be? So if you recognize that, then the next question you ask yourself is, are you ready to commit to that?
Yes.
Because if you are not ready to commit, there's no way. It's not just what you want. It's about, are you ready to commit to that? So I said to myself,
at the same time, on this podcast, we're focusing more on distinction students more than the average student, because how you should be able to keep up to your plan being a distinction student.
Exactly.
Up because you've been unable to match the energy or the requirements.
So everything will just be based on the best, the standard best. The world values the distinction more than the average.
Yeah.
So now you ask yourself, okay, which kind of student do you want to be? Then after that, the next thing is, are you ready to commit to that? So now,
if you're ready to make sacrifices,
exactly, going to class night and all the stuff, are you ready to make the commitment of being the distinction student you said you want to be? So that's the second thing. So that's the issue of self-consciousness. So because people they are in school, they don't even know what they want, whether they want to be a first class or just a normal regular passing or a normal failing guy. So that's the first thing. If you have done that, you'll be ahead of majority of the students. You know where you are, okay? Distinction, am I ready to commit? Okay, I'm ready to commit, good. Then you'll be following through the process. I'm not ready to commit. Okay, what can I do? Okay, I want to be a normal passing this thing. That's it.
So
okay,
firstly, I think you should consider this consider the podcast as you talking to someone that have at least gotten to understand things in a different way, or maybe in a better way from the way you believe to understand it. So I don't know, you should see this as a carry out plan on how we believe you should get this done.
It's not just
rather than you just diving all deep into it and believing you should get to find your way around it.
Yes.
The mistakes will be at the expense of yourself, and then there won't be even time to correct this.
Exactly.
So you should rather pay attention now and listen to all the points we've been able to gather from people and from ourselves and from people that have witnessed all these things, from people that have been able to find their way around this, people that have made those mistakes.
You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. Just keep following the wheel, learn the rules of the wheel, and then keep following it. The wheel is there. Don't reinvent the wheel.
So firstly, we'll talk about, I think, the time management, most especially. This is us talking about.
So now, what, like, as a student now, we've talked the first two things, like the kind of student you want to be, then are you ready to make commitments? So that's the two things, that's the school activities. But you are going to spend 4 years in school, or let's say 5 or 6 years in school. And this actually, I believe, as a student, this is your building phase of life. This is your building phase of life. It's not just to become probably the medical doctor or the med lab scientist you want to become, or a pharmacist you want to become. No, there's more to life. Or anything. It's not just to become that profession. Like, there's more to life. So as a student, I believe your 4 years or your 5 years as a student is your building phase of life. So there are a whole lot of skills you need to develop while as a student studying your profession. Other life things you need to develop, because
I think
it's not only about
precise. The thing is that you shouldn't just do everything based on
school, or like exactly revolve around the school. Like
there's more to life. So you shouldn't, because there are some times when school overwhelms you. What would you want to? What would be the thing to like put you back on track? Those things. So if you have invested too much on school and then neglected
other things, you are going to graduate one day.
Nothing to push you back to school. Like, oh, dude, you need to get back to what you're supposed to do. Because like in some cases now, school really overwhelms. I won't lie to you.
I did this mistake in 200 level. That was 2021. My whole focus was just on school. Like, all my paradigm of life back then was just school. Like, nothing more. I don't do any other thing. Just school. My focus just school. My thinking school. But right now, my thinking is not school. Is just about, let's say, about just 40% of it. Like, other things I'm doing and other things I'm thinking about always. But back then, my just thinking was school. Like, my 100% was school, and it was a very, very wrong thing. So, and that's how majority of people will spend their 4 years or their 5 years throughout school. Like, there are things you need to develop more.
It does, like, it works for some people, but then I think that to be on the safer side.
And the better way is not, because when we dive deeper into this podcast, you are going to see like school is actually a training you for the next phase of your life.
Yeah. So I think I've had this conversation with someone before where I said to the person, I said, if with the way things are going, the way they're like trying to flip things around into online classes and all that, like I think it should be more important that we should physically go to class, because like if anything should be online, maybe the master's degree, achieving your master's degree can be online, but you see when it comes to undergraduate degree, I think it should be more it should be based on physical. So the thing is that you see in some cases now, like for instance now, for someone that grew up in being antisocial, like I'll put it that way, that like barely even like talks to people or like interact with people, which is something you're really going to like spend time doing your whole life.
Yeah, exactly. Because
so I think school is something that is just like when you start going to school, you get to build that ability,
your social muscle, like so, that's one of the things we are going to be talking.
So the deeper. Awareness leads to that. If you have been aware of who you are, then you know things that needs correction. Because honestly, not being able to interact with your colleagues or your peers is like a very bad thing. That you need.
So if you are not able to interact with your peers, how would you be able to interact with your boss?
Exactly. So those things are like very important. You're not going to work with most people online, honestly, because most contracts are physical. Like most jobs are physical. Interacting with your patient physically, how to tolerate your patient, because you bring different problems to you,
and all
to
those
keep your problems aside, and then just focus on theirs. Like those things are like things that you learn from interacting with people, and you learn, you learn by just being around your mate. They don't tell all these things to you in class.
No, I made mention of this now. So now, the next thing we are going to be focusing on is the skills to develop while being a student. We are not going to be focusing on the academic activities right now. That would be another episode on its own, like your academics. But like along the line of being a student, what are the skills you need to develop? Because life is all about developing some certain skill all the time. So what are the skills to develop? I think the first thing, after I've asked a lot of people regarding this, a lot of things, the first thing is time management. Time management. Time management.
Very important. You see, if you look at the whole day now, we have 24 hours in a day.
Exactly.
You see, how do you maximize the most out of the 24 hours? Because if you look at it now, for a normal person now, someone like me,
before the time management, I believe self-management should come. Self-management. It will be under self-management. What self-management simply means is like
to the time management, right?
Yeah, self-management is like actually knowing what you want to do and getting it done.
That's sticking to the plan.
Like getting. I don't know how to put this thing in a better way.
The question is, are you agreeing? Is it sticking to the plan?
It's part of it. Will be another part of self-management, but it's like having probably a goal. Like, okay, this who I want to be. Then this who I want to be, like as a student. This is who I want to be. Then sticking to it, like having.
Yeah,
then the time management will come
plan.
under it, and all this stuff.
Will help you stick to.
Like self-management is like coming to. You need to be aware of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, this is who I am as a student
Self-awareness.
now. Like, okay, I need to sleep probably 5 hours a day. Or I need to sleep probably 10 hours a day. Like, okay, no. While I sleep 10 hours a day, I need to read 4 hours a day. Probably I need to miss some lectures, or I need to go to all the lectures, and probably I need to.
I think
do something outside school as well.
I need to miss some lectures. That's like you prioritizing stuff like.
You grab now, like it's not like you are just living like as a student. Not you are not just living it as it comes. Like you're actually planning it. No, I want to miss this lecture. No, deliberately I must attend all my lectures. Deliberately I must sleep 5 hours. I must read 6 hours. Then I must do things extracurricular activities. So that's what I mean by self-management. Like being self-aware and controlling yourself.
Let's dive into the time management.
Now you should understand that self-management.
So firstly, you should understand how time is being spent by normal regular people and then everybody. It's like, okay, you wake up every day. Let's say you wake up for a lecture around 7 o'clock a.m. and for a lecture that is starting by 8 o'clock, and then you get ready within the 1 hour, and then you finish everything you're supposed to do. You finish everything you're supposed to do before 7:30, and by 7:40, you're already on your way. You probably like add breakfast and then.
Okay, sorry, wait. You said like 7:40, you're already on your way. Now, 7:40 to 8 o'clock, that's about 20 minutes. How can you use this time? Like while being on your way, let's say you're on a bike or you are just trekking, you can maximize this time by meditation. What did you read last night? Meditating.
I'll get to that. I think I'll get to that. The first thing I'm trying to explain now is like how normal regular people would spend their time.
Okay.
And then how I think they should be aware of how they are spending their time.
Okay.
So firstly, then you get your this and you just go. So I don't know if you are being very aware of yourself, like when you get to class and then you get to the class and then the lecturer has probably spent maybe like 30 minutes
even before coming to
then the lecture that was supposed to start like 8 o'clock is starting around 8:30. So you see that 30 minutes
has wasted like that.
That is gone. You should be aware of that. Then to the next level now. Okay, he gave you guys a lecture. He didn't finish at the stipulated time. Then he finished. Then you just the lecture is supposed to like last for 2 hours. Then he finish around maybe like let's like 9:30 instead of 10 o'clock. Then you have another 30 minutes extra. Okay, those times are like short, but you should be aware of them.
Yeah, because
to the next level, then you probably maybe have like a practical that's like going to last about 4 hours. Then maybe like from 11 to maybe like 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, and you're supposed to finish. I don't know. There's no magic to it. You're probably going to be exhausted around 3 o'clock. So people don't actually like try to be aware of. They don't pay attention to these things, like, and it's like very important. Like I would like to it's like very, very important.
Because if you're managing your time efficiently well, you will have more time to do other things. Yeah. Whether to watch movie you want to watch, to play ball.
Yeah, the free time we just like
you be there, and then you can use it for other things you want to do.
Honestly, like all work without no blame, make up your double. But like, okay, how do you create time for job to work? Is what we're talking about.
So that's one of the problems I'm currently facing right now.
Yeah,
because all my life I've just been probably reading, but I need to do some other things. So I'm trying to like, okay, how can I manage this time? Go to lecture, read, be up to class, even probably far ahead of the class, and then still be doing my extracurricular.
And it's me that have been able to achieve it successfully.
And that's what I'm trying to work on.
So the thing is now, okay, you finish your practical around 3 o'clock. Then if you're probably most like you have to like quickly go and find something to eat. For someone that is going to probably finish his whole academic activities by 6 p.m. now. Okay, you have like maybe like 30 minutes break or so to go and get something to eat or recharge yourself. Yeah, so like you recharge yourself, like okay, then you probably get something to eat or maybe water. It can be anything, or you probably fasting or something. But then we need to take a break to like move to the next thing. So like that's constant. So taking our breaks, people even like spend too much time doing what's not worth it. Then okay, you go to the next lecture that's supposed to start around 4 p.m. to 6 to end, and then around 6. And then you guys are in the class and you're like waiting for the lecturer, and then you have like 2 hours of doing nothing because the lecturer didn't come to class.
And it happened today, like the UG1 guys. Like, they are waiting for the lecturer since 2:00. The lecturer came in about 3:42. Like, that's about 1 hour 40 minutes that has been wasted.
Yeah, and that's like crazy, honestly. That's like
and that thing adds up daily. Yeah. That kind of thing happens about twice a week or thrice a week.
You see the lecturer that didn't come for his lecture, by the time he wants to like pile up the old stuff back, like wants to like cover up for those things, then he starts like piling it up and then it becomes too much.
Everything is at the expense.
So we get lost having unnecessary conversations during the period of that time. You get like those things are like things you are not even aware of.
Exactly. I'm not saying, like you can be doing it though. Yeah. But things you should be aware of. Okay, deliberately I want to be doing this. Exactly. Deliberately I want to be doing this. You really need to be aware of these things, like, of the time. Like, must you gist after lecture? Yeah. Or even during lecture? You can gist. Like, you must be aware of it.
Like you can gist, but like can you afford gisting?
Exactly.
Can you afford gisting?
And that's what this guy said. Like, it has been a routine for us to like gist on Friday.
Yes, like on Fridays, like I just end up wasting my energy trying to. But sometimes I benefit from the discussion, but at the same time, but then I have like a particular plan that I've had in my head, exactly. or like the daily plan I used to have in my head. Like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to go and sleep now, so I can have energy to read later in the evening. But then I spent my sleeping time gisting, and then my body, my body will not even tell me anything. Just like, dude, guy, you need to pay back for that energy. Instead of using I'll force it
at its own expense now.
Okay, your day will probably end, and you go home, then you're like so tired. Now imagine now, out of the whole thing, the only thing you did properly from after the first lecture to the second lecture was the practical. That's the only thing you did. And then you are clearly tired.
The night you say you want to read again,
and you're too tired
you want to sleep, but don't forget you are the one that stress yourself during the day. And even while you're reading, you meet your guys, you started gisting again. Yeah. You say you wanna use about 4 hours to read. You end up using about 2 hours.
Yeah, the craziest thing is that like the crazy thing about the whole thing is the crazy thing, like mind my words. So like the crazy thing is about the whole thing. I remember one time like that like I actually like called one of my guy, oh dude, like I'm in school and then I'm in social class, like and I think I should do it. Then I just didn't have the energy to go and look for the guy. Because I feel like, oh dude, you have like so much to do on your table and then you are looking for one guy. I feel like if I have the time, I would have gone. But for real, honestly, I don't have the time. I think something we humans should be aware of is that actually, I won't lie to you. I think our it's like our gods can lead, like, it can put us in trouble, or like suggest something that is like very wrong for us. I think we should know that. Like we should just know that at the same time. Like we train our gods deliberately. And then start giving us, giving us things that I don't know. Start like suggesting opinions that we've trained it to suggest. Then we think that's the right thing. So I think that's that about how the normal day is supposed to go. Now, how you should have planned it is what we'll discuss about now. So I'll leave that to Servant.
You just discussed like how a random student would spend his day. That's what you just discussed now. But why do we need to manage our time? So why? I was speaking with one of my mentors like a couple of days ago. Then he said like this 400 level is very, very tiring. Like the lectures back to back, probably 8 to 5 every fucking day. The lecture can
mind your words, please.
So like the lecture can just be 8 to 5 back to back every day. Practical is there. And these lecturers, they can finish about 100 slides within 2 hours.
That will take you 2 weeks to finish.
Exactly.
That's the crazy thing.
These guys, they are trying to read the handout. They even want to read the textbook. The textbook is bulky already. Where's the time to rest? Where's the time to do some extra curricular activities? Even the time to read, like let's say you've removed all the extra curricular activities there. The time to read is not enough. Because my mentor said he has about 40 slides. 40 slides he has not read any of them. 40 slides, and his slide is not just about probably 300 pages of slides, almost about 500 pages, and each page is very, very thick content stuff. Like it's not just go through it. So how would you manage this time like that? So if you don't know how to manage your time at that particular point, you will get lost.
So like
let's
start from.
So that's the reason you must learn how to manage your time.
Let's start from waking up in the morning. I think you should be very strict about what your plan is.
Like now the thing is, now look at the people in 400 level. They are complaining ruthlessly right now that things is so tiring. There's no time to do this. There's no time to do that. Then when you get to 500 level, it become more worse. When you go to 600 level, it become more worse. Then when you graduate, it become more worse. So at every stage you are, as you are going to the next stage, things keep getting worse. So you need to be so mind my usage of adjective. Just like I feel there is no better way to express it than using more worse, all those English that are not in the dictionary. So now I'm using the 400 level guys as an example for you to know how time will be, how your 24 hours you have will be like probably 10 hours, and you'll be getting little done, and things will be going day by day.
Be at back in your mind that some lectures are not worth going to.
Exactly. But this is not an advice I shouldn't go to lecture, honestly speaking.
This
is not an advice you shouldn't go to lecture.
Prioritize some things. Like you can't be far behind and like going to lecture. At the same time, the more the lectures, the more the stuff you are supposed to cover.
I said this thing to I said last week, couple of weeks ago, I think last week, I missed some lectures. Then I said to myself, okay, I'm missing lecture, but okay, if I go to lecture, I will have the understanding, but I won't have the stuff. But I can never pass without having the stuff. So I feel like
you can also be deficit. Exactly. Lacking the understanding.
Yeah. But I feel like I can never pass.
More time.
You see, that stuff. I feel like if I don't have this stuff, I can never pass. I've never
thought about the fact that if you had attended the lecture, what is costing you 2 minutes to understand? You have probably spent maybe like 10-20 seconds to understand it.
Actually, the point is, let me put it like this: I feel like let's say I understand things easy. Let's put it like that. So I don't feel like struggle to understand things.
Yeah. Well, me, I don't think I have the magical power of understanding things.
It's not the magical power.
Yeah, it's magical because I've met people that like when we tend to like discuss some things and like you throw the thing at me once, like I'm able to like break it down. But regardless, I feel like there's some things that I prefer to like hear from the lecturer, because I feel like it will put it in some certain words that I will enjoy and I will like be able to retain, and the way the textbook is going to like complex it for me.
The thing is, I love let's say like reading is not hard for me. So I feel like even if I don't go to lecture, like I will just get things done myself.
But regardless, do you think lecture is very important?
It depends on the stage you are. Let's say if you're in clinical now, lecture is very, very important. Medicine is like apprenticeship.
Well, I think,
so if you're in clinical, but if you're in preclinical, going to lecture is like a waste of time.
In my own opinion,
if you have things done, if you have things you need to do,
if
you have things you need to do, going to lectures is like a waste of time.
In my own opinion, I feel like regardless of wherever you are, wherever you've gotten to in life, lecture is very important.
Okay, wait.
But priorities matter.
Exactly.
Lecture is very important. Priorities matter, but lecture, I swear, I can swear on my life, I feel like you shouldn't miss any lecture if you can attend it.
Don't
be so lax like Savant. Honestly,
no, it depends on how you view things.
You see, at the same time, someone is still trying to like figure his way around attending lectures.
Exactly, honestly speaking.
So I think,
but I don't actually. My intention is to not go to lecture, but I feel like it's bad. I want to like how would I be going to lecture?
So
juggling.
So we should come back to the fact that we train our guts.
Exactly. I know it's bad not to go to lecture,
conscience.
But I don't want to go to lecture. But I feel like it's bad.
We train our conscience, and then we become more conscious of the fact that we were the one that trained the conscience. So the fact that he's not feeling so bad about not attending lectures because that's the way we've trained his conscience.
It's not a joyful thing. I'm not feeling bad, but I actually love it. But I'm still not feeling bad. I believe, like as a medical student, like I know you should go to lecture. Honestly, as a good student.
No, I spoke to a 500 students. Me and one of my guys, and it was like, some of these guys would like would miss lectures, and then on the day when they're probably like having their posting, and then they're in the hospital, and then the next thing, one guy will be asking you about how it's done, because what the lecturer is explaining at that moment is contradicting what you read in the textbook. Meanwhile, that's like the supposed way that they've been taught physically, and I've been working out. But the textbook, honestly, I don't know if you guys are getting my point here.
That's what I said.
That's from the 500 level students.
That clinical.
So regardless,
you must go to lecture clinical. Like medicine or anything you are studying, any medical course is like you are learning a particular skill, like apprenticeship. Yeah. So you must go to lecture clinical. But preclinical,
because is like at the same time, not going to lecture will isolate you from interacting with people. So
and that's one of the things we are going to be getting to later. So going to lecture is very, very important. Yeah. But if you have things to get done. Like you have other things that are important, not
Why
because you want to work, not because you want to work in movie. If you have other things important to get done,
being an engineer, whatever it is in life that you want to be.
Then going to lecture is very, very important.
So getting
back
certain knowledge from your lecturers is very important. Outside academics.
Honestly speaking.
So attending lecture is very important. I think we've come to that conclusion that attending lecture is very important.
But I still stand on my point. Like, if you don't go to lecture, it doesn't mean, like, if you have other things to do, like, if you have
in my own opinion, and what I think is right, he's standing on his point. That's his own opinion. I think
you grab now.
Regardless of whatever it is.
Don't
find yourself in the situation where you have
not
to
going
decide
not to
whether
go
to
to
go
lecture.
to lecture or not to go to lecture.
Exactly. Honestly speaking.
Actually try to
go to lecture. Honestly speaking.
Regardless of whatever. Don't try to find yourself in the situation where
you have other
decide.
things to get done. Like other important things to get done.
Don't find yourself in the situation where you have to decide whether I have things to get done. But try as much as possible.
Life
not
can
to bring that. I'm telling you, but try as much as possible.
Exactly.
Not to be in that situation where you have to decide where, do I have to go to lecture or not?
No, exactly. But
try and nullify it every single time they are coming and attend the lecture regardless.
Just attend the lecture. So let me just give
boring or not,
attend the lecture.
Prepare for lecture.
Attend the lecture.
Read ahead of the lecturer if you can. It really helps.
Getting back to time management now, this is a skill you need to develop. No one will come and sit you down like, hey, random student, learn time management. It's a skill you need to develop along the line.
And honestly, like I've read many books and many books. Like I don't read books more. That's the crazy thing. Like I watch more videos. Exactly. Or audio books.
The point is not reading books or
like
watching
getting
the knowledge. Like where best can you get the knowledge? That's the most important thing. Where best can you get the knowledge?
So the thing is that they're always adamant on time management. Because we're so self-unaware
of how we waste our time.
So I think we should pay attention here.
Time. So this podcast is not where we are going to be teaching you how to manage your time. But we are just letting you to be aware of that. You need to learn how to manage your time.
How you manage it is left to you.
It depends on your.
You should be aware of the time that have been wasted, the times you are wasting, and how you manage it to be left. Honestly, because I manage my own time differently. Someone manages his own time. I feel like he's managing his own very poorly.
Honestly speaking, at the moment, I'm like in a state of confusion right now. Honestly, I'm speaking with two of my friends currently, how these guys are managing their time. They are playing football, they are reading. Honestly speaking, about me, I'm confused. Honestly speaking, so I need to learn. That's one of the things I'm even
that's
learning
that spend most of the time reading, telling you that you still need to learn time management.
Honestly speaking,
you should learn from this. Is we're talking about
this.
Now.
I'm trying. These guys, they read, they play ball, they have other things. They just everything.
Regardless. At the same time, you see, recording the podcast is actually part of our time management.
Exactly, we actually dedicate
and it's fun to us because we enjoy recording it.
Exactly. So you understand? So as you are in school, there are other things you need to get done. Don't let your school limit you. There are some other things you need to check. What's going on here? How can I manage my time? How can I be self-aware of myself? All those stuff. Just try to get it done. Even if it's dedicating 2 hours a day or probably 1 hour a day just to do those stuff, just do it. There's unlimited time in the world. Honestly speaking, it's because you just don't know how to manage it. At least roughly, you spend about 2 hours on social media, wasting it daily. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that's 2 hours. You need things you can.
I think something done. I would like to input again is having a well planned schedule is also
part of it.
It's very essential. You don't have to even write it down, but you should know that this time I'm supposed to be doing this. Same time, you can't cheat nature. Dedicate some time to sleeping and resting.
And I'm lagging in that area.
Dedicate some time to social media.
Not
social media in general, but to your social life. Just dedicate some time to it. So at the same time, we'll go next into your peers now. Your interaction with your peers. I think that's very important. You see.
So I spoke with two people earlier about this podcast. Then they say one of the things you need to develop as a student is social interaction. Interaction.
Yeah. And how your peers can really affect you. I think we spoke about this in the introductory episode about how your environment really affects you.
Yeah. It's all about
we are humans, honestly. We should note that.
We are social
there are certain
creatures.
feelings that you feel, but you need to just eat yourself out of that spot. Oh, dude, you shouldn't be feeling this way. But you can feel that way. It's how you just how you try not to, I don't know, like provide your results in the manner of the way you are feeling. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, like probably it's like, let's say you are feeling bad, you wake up and then probably have a bad dream and all that, and you are feeling bad in the morning. Then when you reach school, you are among your peers now. You feeling bad doesn't mean you should behave badly. Like you should just behave in the right way, in the right manner. Like regardless of whether how you feel, whether you are feeling good, you are feeling bad, you are feeling sad, or you are feeling excited, you should just learn how to behave normal. Like you should learn the etiquette of social interaction. Like, okay, this is how you should behave in a social environment and all that.
Yeah, that's like very important. At the same time,
because I was in class. It was not yesterday. I think about some days ago, right? Like that guy was he's my friend. Then normal, I wanted to greet him. Normal, like he was just sitting down. Then I hit his back. And the guy was like, "How can you hit me like that?" All those stuff. And I was just playing with this guy. He interacted aggressively. Like I was just like, how would someone behave like this?
People are different.
Like how would someone behave like this? Like I was trying to greet him, and you see the way he reacted, just aggressively.
At the same time, you being yourself. I think.
Then I was aware, like, wow. I just laughed, like, how would someone behave like this? Like, I just laughed. Actually, like, how would someone behave like this?
Actually, I think you should give people the benefit of the fact that they are just the way they are.
Exactly.
I think I do that a lot. Like, you know, I've interacted with people and I feel like, oh, that's just the way you are, because like you don't see it as a bad thing, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and it's actually something bad.
Like
I was
you shouldn't be too selfish about yourself. I think I've been in that situation where people are just like too selfish about their own self rather than being inconsiderate. I'll put it that way. You're being inconsiderate. Like you need to consider the other person. Like,
it's two things that happened there.
You need to be very aware.
Probably I greeted him in a bad way. Then he should have learned to react in a good manner. Then he reacted badly. Then I too, either I have to choose now to react badly or to react in a good manner. I didn't do anything. I just laugh and then I move on with my life. So that's it. So if someone do you bad, it's not a must you do that person bad. And like still, learn, do that person good. That's it. So that's part of the social.
And still under your peers now.
Like the thing is, okay.
You see, we get lost in situations where like we just like start adapting to the lifestyle of our peers.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have different goals.
Honestly. Yeah, we all have, exactly.
Like but that's the thing is important.
What is trying? I don't know.
We all have different goals. That's important. 2, we all have different ways of carrying out our goals. And 3, regardless of who you are with, you should learn to always isolate yourself when it comes to achieving your goals. That's not being selfish. I feel like that's just being disciplined. Yeah, you can interact with your friends regardless of how they carry out their own tasks or how they achieve their own aims. But what you should know is that you shouldn't alter your own goals or your manner of achieving your goals. So this is getting us back to self-management. Yeah. Like you must have your own routine way of doing things. Like that's whether it shouldn't be a must. You should have your own. Like you should be aware that you have your own way of doing things. You should be aware. I don't know, and then you should be lax enough to like seek. We'll get to the part where you have to seek advice, but like you should be aware that you have your own way of doing things. Or the fact that your friend watches football
doesn't mean that you should watch. Or your friend plays football. Doesn't mean you should play. No.
You build yourself, and then
as a man now, I feel like there's no fun watching ball or playing football right now. So I don't watch ball right now.
As servant, he believes so.
I know there is fun there.
As giver.
I know there's fun though, actually.
There's entertainment. You see, honestly, I'm very less judgmental. I think when it comes to a lot of stuff, like if you tell me you enjoy, I don't enjoy watching movies that much. I don't know, that's like crazy, but like I don't really enjoy watching movies if I wouldn't benefit a lot from them.
Sure, exactly. So if your friends are telling you, guys, you are too boring, you don't watch movies.
I'm not boring.
No. Like you should have things you understand.
I'm very sure that I'm
like not boring. Exactly. So that's it. Like that.
You get to know me.
So their own way of fun must not be your own way of fun. Like fun should be your own.
At the same time, their own way of carrying out fun shouldn't be exactly. But fun is very subjective. Like this is
exactly like
subjective to who
you are. Like who you are. That's like he's someone you watches football a lot.
Not a lot.
Okay, but like
I watch football. Yeah. I'm very conscious of football. Like I'm
exactly like all the World Cup. So I didn't watch any match throughout the
World Cup. And I also didn't watch all the World Cups. But like when I'm free, I feel like okay, dude, like you can actually spare this time to watch this football. Then I watch it. Like I think I'm very emotional when it comes to stuff like that. Like, and they can like they're very. I think that they're capable of altering my mood. And like when I know that this thing is capable, but at the same time, I feel like those like I can actually make use of this this good mood when people win this match. I just like watching it. Like I take the risk of watching it. So that happens.
So the point here is try to define your own fun, your own definition of fun.
Try to define that's define yourself.
Exactly, like self-management, like exactly
your peers.
Yeah, exactly. Because
so this is
if let's say your friends now they watch movie or they watch ball, and then you say okay you want to be like them, then you wasted it. You waste 2 hours with them watching football. You will not be joyful. Like you want to enjoy it. Like and you can spend probably 30 minutes doing what you love, and you benefit from it more because your brain will be relaxed. Like you will just be that fun.
But you should be open to learning regardless.
Exactly.
I don't know how to play football, but like I'm very open to learning. But then when my guys call me, guy, we are playing football today. Then I look at it, I'll be like, do I have that time to?
Yeah, some of our guys are they're on the field right now.
I'm supposed to be learning how to play the football, not just carrying my boots and just go and play. And I know that immediately after playing the football, number one, I have to shower. And when I shower, I start feeling sleepy. Like I need rest because my muscles.
Yeah. So the time that I said you want to read, you love reading at night, probably 8 o'clock. Then 4 o'clock, you want to play ball.
How will you read that?
It's not possible now. You are sleeping.
It's not possible. You tell me that you spend 5 hours reading, and then there's someone that spent 3 hours reading when you spend 5 hours reading. It's not because you manage this time very well.
You understand? Like so like this is just like a diversion. The point here is social interaction. Learn how to communicate with people. Like if you're an introvert or an extrovert, depending on who you are. Some people are lucky to be extrovert. They can relate with any fucking people. Sorry, they can relate with any type of person. And you are someone that probably you're an introvert. You don't even know probably to relate with your friends.
And I think that's what school gives you because like
so you must learn. Like whether you're an introvert or if you're an introvert, try to become an extrovert. Just for the sake of yourself, not for the sake of your friend or for the sake of other person, but for the sake of yourself. Because you need to.
Can you hold on? Like I think it shouldn't be more of trying to become an extrovert. I feel like
yeah.
You can be an introvert
and still learn how to exactly. That's what I mean. It's not. There's no joy in being an extrovert, man. It depends on like what you title it. There's no joy being an extrovert. There's no joy being an extrovert. Depends on you.
If you're the type that is more conserved, I think conserved. Sorry,
like someone like me now, I'm kind of conservative person.
You don't get to interact with people that much. I feel like okay, regardless.
But when it's time, when it's time, you must exactly like you shouldn't let that part of your life. Not being a conservative person alter you.
I've been in conversation with people where I could have actually like push the conversation further, but I leave them to the conversation because like I'm the type that is always very conservative. Like I don't want to talk much about But I think that not helped me much. That helped me, but it has not helped me much. I feel like when I get to being in a situation where I'm having a conversation with someone, I should like try to interact with the person, like have the conversation for real. Not leave the person to the conversation, like leave the person to ask him the questions and then I just get to be answering. I think that's not the case.
So those are the skills you need to learn, how to have interaction with people. That's the skill you need to learn. That's the skill you need to develop. The next thing is how to express yourself as well. Like you can be a shy person, but when you are in your working life, you need to learn how to express yourself. You need to learn how to develop the confidence. Like when you are probably seeking the job or anything, you need to learn how to. These are skills you need to develop. Yeah. So this is the right time. This is your breathing phase. Like I said earlier. Like try to just ask questions. Yeah, like, you can be a shy person, but even the question you might understand.
Yeah, honestly,
but just to build your confidence. Just to build your confidence.
There's this particular girl in my class. I don't know. I can't even mention her name, but I feel like I like her voice, the way she asks questions. Like, and when she asks the questions. She have asked like 2 lecturers questions and the questions are supposed to sound dumb, but then I like the question and even lecturers like the fact that she asked the question.
Exactly, like
that's the crazy thing because in other people's heads it's like, why are you asking this dumb question? But like I enjoy the question and the lecturer even like saw the joy about the question about the fact that she was able to even ask that kind of question.
So if you have any question in class, just try to build your confidence muscle. Ask that kind of question. Even if you don't have a question, try to fabricate a question for yourself and ask it. So just to build your confidence level, because at a certain point in your life, you are going to be talking.
You sound like me now.
I think your boss or to anyone.
From the beginning of this semester, now I think I've been able to I've developed the habit of asking questions and answering questions too.
Good.
But you see, every time I do it, the longer it takes the lower the confidence. Because then
yeah,
after a while,
back to back. It's like
my voice starts shaking.
Exactly.
Because I remember there was a time I was doing this particular test that involved Viva, where I have to like sit down with the lecturer and like talk to him face to face. And then I just kept on rubbing my palms together. I was just like getting, I don't know, losing.
Yeah, exactly.
Words
and if you're in 200 level medical student, you're going to have this Viva waiting.
So I feel like you start
abdomen, and also your MB.
Have interactive class with lecturers.
Like one, I think it's doctor. One lecturer asked me a question, and it's just a normal question. I even know I know the answer to the question, but I was feeling shy. Like my voice is just shaking and all this stuff. And this is me that will probably be doing Viva in less probably 4 months. And just a normal lecturer asked me a question. I know the answer to the question, but I'm feeling shy. My confidence is at very, very low level. So if I'm now in the front of the Viva questionnaire, how would I want to behave? So these are the things you need to learn. Yeah. Like you just no one will teach you this though. Yeah. No one will mention this for you. Yeah. You need to develop it. Yeah. Yeah. Like you might know the answer to the question, but because you have low confidence, your sympathetic this thing are stimulated, you are sweating, your voice is shaking, you end up fucking up yourself. And you know the answer to the question.
And I think you should also know that you can actually fuck it up initially, and then the thing is just for you to keep trying. Yeah, you try again, over and over again, and again and again.
Exactly. Like if you want to ask a question, your voice might be shaking. That's not the end of the world. You want to answer a question.
Regardless, people in my class will feel like, oh, this guy is very good at answering or asking questions.
But he's actually doing it on purpose. Like,
yes.
Building the confidence.
Yes. And the crazy part of it is that it takes so much to ask or answer those questions.
Yeah. I will start adopting this thing. Anytime I'm in class, I will fabricate a question and ask it.
It takes so much. I spend so much, energy trying to do this thing. Even if I know I'm not like good at it. I'm trying to, I'm doing
build something. Nobody will come sit you down. Like Kivye, you need to build your confidence, this thing, all that. You need to develop yourself.
No one ever.
So that's on communication.
So another thing I would like us to talk about now is asking for help, and the fact that it isn't a sign of weakness. You see, for instance, now when we come into a new environment or a new situation, like most of us are probably coming from secondary school, are moving from normal 100 level to like 200 level, where things are getting a bit tougher.
Completely.
So the thing is that they are tough, I won't lie to you. But what you should put at the back of your mind is that thousands before you have been able to get this job done. So it is not impossible. So keeping that aside now, I feel like we should like get to like seek help from people even before we even need the help. I won't lie to you, I think that's like very important. Before you start even needing the help, you should seek help from people. Because like then sometimes we need the help, but then we find ourselves in a situation where we feel like if you ask for the help, it's like it's us like being a sole losers. You can ask for help from your mates, from your seniors, from people that even actually failed to get the job done. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm repeating my class now, for instance, and with that being said, now I see people that come to me on a daily that be like, oh, dude, like I'd like to like know more about so thing. Then I'll be excited. I actually like tell them first, and I'll be like, in my mind I'll be like, I'm always excited, I'm always glad about it, not for myself but like for them. Because if I had been like this, I probably would have repeated this class. There's the stuff, there's me being intellectual, intelligent. There is that part of me. What about getting the job done? You need experience. It's inevitable. Yeah. And at the same time, I'll tell you again, the crazy thing about it is that even if you were able to get the job done without seeking experience, you would have done better if you had gotten experience. I won't lie to you.
So always ask for it. Can be from your seniors or from your mates,
your lecturers, your professors, can be anybody.
Like recently now,
seek help. Let them put you through this.
Recently now,
they've done it before. They've done it 6 years ago, 10 years ago. They've done it before. Ask them. I got into medical school then, and then there was this thing about the physiology textbook to use. Then I was like, oh, everybody were just like guiding. And I never enjoyed guiding. I won't lie.
Wow, that was my love, the love of my life.
I've never for once enjoyed guiding, and I don't think I don't know. I might enjoy it later on. I read it.
Read Guyton.
I read Guyton regardless. So. I'm telling you from my own mind though. I will still read Guyton regardless. But I don't enjoy reading Guyton. Like,
why won't you enjoy reading Guyton?
That's my opinion. No, like stick to yours. Like this is mine. I would
make sense.
I will read Guyton regardless.
Guyton is the physiology book I will recommend.
Will you just leave it to me?
No, continue.
I understand that I'm supposed to read Guyton. I might even be reading it more than you.
Sure.
I'm telling you.
Sure.
I might be reading more than you, but the fact that I read it doesn't mean that. You see, I don't like reading books, but I read books. I don't know. You get it?
I actually enjoy it.
I don't like Guyton, but I read Guyton.
So that's it. So if you don't like a particular subject,
I think there's this book of medical physiology that I enjoy. And this team medical physiology I enjoy. Like, I enjoy it so much. Like, I don't know what they have that is better than Guyton, but like, I just enjoy them. Like, then when they give me the story, like, I enjoy it more. It's fun reading their own book. And then there's Guyton. So the thing is that the reason why I read Guyton now is because the school of thought here in my school is Guyton. That's me setting priorities. So regardless of how it is, you know, regardless of the way it is, you know, that like I don't enjoy Guyton, I still read it because it is the school of thought. It is the school of thought here in my school. Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm still reading Guyton. Because for me to get the job done, that's passing my exams. I need to read Guyton.
So that's it.
But for my own fun purpose, I read that my textbook when I want to read it.
You must learn to blend.
So you need to set priorities.
You must learn to blend with the situation.
So if I had seeked help
earlier, exactly.
I have known that I should have stick to Guyton regardless, instead of now learning from my own mistake.
Also,
then I will just read out my other textbook. I will not read Guyton. Guyton is a medical physiology textbook, by the way. I will read my other textbook. I will not read Guyton. But then it didn't help me because then lecturers will set questions that, like, I don't know, that are oriented towards the way Guyton is.
All the stuff.
Do you understand? Like, you see, you get knowledge from everywhere. That's for your own benefit. But you should stick to the curriculum.
Exactly, like having the knowledge is different from passing the exam.
Yeah.
So, and also if you are seeking help, like some help can mislead you, honestly speaking. So try to seek help from more than one person. So like, just okay, Mr. A said this, Mr. B said this, Mr. C said this. Then you now sit down, judge it with your brain. Which one is best advice you can follow?
People that can give you the most,
the
best help and the best advice
are people
that failed
and people that succeed
getting it done, and
people that succeed,
and people that failed, that succeeded and still feel like they could have done it better.
Exactly.
So, like, it's very important.
So that's it. So seek help from different people. Then be your judge. Don't let's say you ask which textbook do you want to read. Then I say, okay, read Sembolinga. Okay, this one said read Guyton. The other one said read probably one Checkers textbook. You now use your brain and justify which one is better. Okay, if I follow this,
I feel like
be your own judge.
I feel like it should depend on who you're asking actually about that now. How do you judge?
Exactly.
How do you judge books that you've never read before?
Yeah, no, I'm saying this thing because I had an experience on this. I asked one senior that, okay, please, can I read Guyton for this particular field? He said I shouldn't read Guyton. Then I have a mentor. He said I should read Guyton. That's two things. If I follow the guy that I shouldn't read Guyton, I won't probably read Guyton for that particular thing. He said it is bulky, all that.
In this case, I feel like this is based on perspective, and this is based
good. That's why I said
it's based on the value you place on your mentor.
No, I didn't actually.
See, just listen now. See, actually, you see, the first guy might actually be true.
Yeah, it's true. He has a good reason.
So he said it's too bulky.
Yeah, and true, it's bulky. Honestly speaking, it's very, very bulky. He has a very, very good point.
You see, someone like me now, I feel like the major reason why I read textbooks is majorly for me to understand what is being taught, because most of the lecturers just bullet the points.
I mean, if things get bulky,
so before my mind was like, my own mind, everything on my mind was like, get the job done. That's like, understand it and you're done. But then, understand it in a way that the lecturer also understands. So when he's marking it, whatever you're writing that is right, they correlate, like, just correlate with each other. So about what he's saying.
The summary point is seek for help from more than from different people. Be your own judge, honestly speaking. be your own judge. Like, which advice will you now follow? If you come to me, I'll give you advice from my own perspective. You go meet Kivia, it will give you advice from a different perspective. You go meet other person too, it will give you advice from a different perspective. So that's 3 different perspectives now. So which one will you follow? So that's it. Seek advice from different people, then be your own judge. And if you cannot be your own judge, look for a successful person that you know, okay, I think this guy is very, very right, always on point. Then keep following him.
Yeah, that's part of being your own judge.
Exactly. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Actually, at the same time, you see, when you seek ideas from people, you don't necessarily have to follow their idea completely. I don't know, but it can actually harm you.
Exactly, and do you good. Like, everything should be, at least should be,
you should be
your own
of,
decision.
Yeah, you should be
okay, he told me, go to so. Do I want to go to so? Like,
you should be really aware of what you're doing. Because now, okay, you seek advice from someone, and you seek, like, I don't know, loads of people, and then it tells you this way. And then you know the kind of person he is, and then you view yourself and you view the person he is, and you know you view things. Is this the kind of person I want to be? Is this the way if I should integrate this in my own schedule, will it work out?
Yeah.
Rather, should I just improvise his own advice and then just get the job done? I don't know. That should be left to you. But like on a core level, we've been able to outline this and discuss it with you guys. And discuss it with ourselves and like create awareness for you guys like know about this. So seeking help is
this not only related to school.
At the same time,
you need throughout your life.
It doesn't mean you are weak. Honestly, I kind of narrowed it to I isolated it to only school. But I feel like
it's more
it's just
like
life.
Anywhere you get to your life.
And again, when you have been advised, I think you should pay attention. Like just sit down and listen. Even if you have ideas that contradict what they're saying, like, just sit down and pay attention.
And think about it like. This guy might actually be true. Just give that benefit of doubt. Then you'll be amazed.
Pay close attention. I think paying close attention is like
so seeking help is not only related to your school, life outside school as well, just our time management and some other things we just discussed.
Yeah. At the same time, I think what is also important is joining in social activities, regardless of everything.
Okay, yeah.
So this actually messed Servant up. You know, I won't lie to you. You know, then we were telling him, and we were like, oh, guy, how do you sleep 3 hours in a day? And you think it's not healthy. It's not healthy. So I think I would combine getting enough sleep.
What he's trying to say is like you just need balancing at some fucking point.
Because you see, taking a day off, I won't lie to you. You see, I'll set myself an example. You see, in a whole week, I don't do things the way I don't know the way my body would want. Do you get? But I feel like then at the end of the week, maybe on Sundays especially, I spend most of my midnight reading. But that Sunday, I get to reset my body back to normal so that I can get my Monday right. Do you understand? Because on a long run, if I keep up with the same vibe,
preparing for the
2 weeks,
like it's just
so that shows that I spend my Sunday like preparing for the new week that is
exactly. So you have
if I need energy. To get more rest, more sleep, I do that on Sunday. If I need to eat good food, if I need to freshen up properly, I do that on Sunday. If I need to iron my clothes, I do that on Sunday.
Sunday is for rest, no work there. Sunday is for rest. Sabbath,
might be different for you, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah, the rest is like so. The rest is not just to rest, sleeping on your bed. No, it's like to reset yourself, to plan what this next week is gonna be. You understand? So you'll be full with energy and all those stuff.
So everything comes back to joining social activities.
Yeah, like so, like just balancing.
Whatever you want to do,
just
figure your way out.
Social activities doesn't mean
your own social activity might be on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Like figure your own way out.
Exactly.
This is my way. I do mine on Sunday. Figure your own way out. Your own might be Monday. Your own might be Tuesday. I'm not telling you the way I get.
So this is what one guy.
We need a day to reset ourselves.
Yeah. I think I need to be doing that as well. I need to be doing that as well. This is what one guy told me. He said on Sunday is the day he checks social media a lot. Like during the weekdays, he'll probably be postponing social media. Like he's managing his time. We'll see the logic there. He's managing his time. Like during the weekdays, he limits itself from social media. Then on Sundays, he just checks social media. Like all the crews and the memes and all those vibes that has happened during the weekdays, he will get it on Sunday. Like boom, you get all the gist you got. So why wasting your time? And he used his time efficiently. Like on Sundays, he just checks social media.
Yeah, like
all those feeds. Like this, like a selective procrastination, and it's for the good.
Actually, there's a cost of procrastinating the social media part. I won't lie to you. So regardless, I think for your own good, you know what to prioritize.
Yeah.
You know what to prioritize. That's his own way of
doing things.
Regardless, he said it to. I think that he said sometimes in class when the lecturer refused to come, he spent the 30 minutes that is supposed to be wasted to check social media.
Yeah, you know, so it has saved him time. You probably maybe he get home and you want to read. That earlier time that will be checking social media, it has saved him that time. You understand?
So those things, I think your phone can actually be a very great enemy to you,
and at the same time, a very, very good friend.
Yeah. So I think you should be at the same time. I think servants have some other things like to.
Okay, so that's the social media catch up. That's what the guy said. Like you usually leave Sundays like to catch up everything that has happened. So now this is the last thing. Now he said
so that's one guy. The same thing with balancing himself up.
Exactly. During the weekdays, he's lagging in social media. Then on Sunday, he catch up back.
Yeah.
So now the last thing here is commitment.
Yeah.
So now this is part of the skills you need to develop. One guy told me this afternoon. He said the first thing is after we said something earlier.
And this is part of self-discipline and self-management
and all that.
Yeah, so I think it's just like a point we missed that we'd like to add back.
So we said something earlier, identify which kind of student you want to become, then are you ready to be committed? Now the guy told me, he said, he's a distinction guy, but he's not having the distinction. Not because he's not a distinction guy, but because he's not committed.
He's not ready to give the sacrifice that such students are given.
Like the consistency and the frequency of his reading, like is not there. So the thing is, you said you are an average student, but the real truth is you are a distinction student. But because you are not committed, you are not consistent, and you don't have the frequency, that's what's making you to be getting probably the pass you are just getting. So
actually, some people are average and average.
Yeah, normal. That's normal. But a lot of people that are average, they can do more.
I think another thing we should be aware of is that don't let your background,
exactly,
where you're coming from, your knowledge, your basic knowledge, or which school you attended, limit you.
Yeah.
Everything in life, don't let where you're coming from limit you. Because I spoke to one of my cousin. Let me just put that, my cousin. And it was like, the way he's been feeling all this while, before I was like, oh, I'm just fortunate to be in this section of life, like, studying medicine. But then, I don't have the ability these guys have. So I'm an average guy. I have to settle for being average.
Good.
I think that's wrong.
Exactly.
That you should understand that it will require you to do more work to be like them. But you don't mind doing the work.
So now this
you can even do more work to be better than them.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like just like Messi and Ronaldo. People believe it's all about hard work for Ronaldo, and that's it. So and because you are coming from a
talent,
probably
when it comes to Messi is better with talent, I think.
If you are coming from a disadvantaged background, don't carry that disadvantage into where you are right now.
Don't let it
actually do better.
You.
Like this actually me now. I believe what I'm doing right now. I'm still a mediocre. Like I can still do more. Like recently I'm fucking up myself that no, like I can still actually do more. Like I can still try to be one of the best. And there's another guy that he said no, he's an average and all that. So it's all about perspective actually. So you can always do more. So it's just like the commitment should be there, the consistency probably to read or anything should be there, and then the frequency. Now the thing is, when I was in UG2, I was doing a lot of TDBs back to back. Like TDB simply means till daybreak. Like you started reading at night, then you read till daybreak. So I was doing this thing like TDBs, like reading till daybreak, majority of the time. And one thing is, my mates will tell me like, guy, you kill yourself, etc. Mm-hmm. But the thing is I was actually building up myself. Like I knew like, wow, this is a skill I'm trying to develop. And once I'm able to develop this skill finish, wow, like I'll be at a very, very great advantage at life. So if I have any things to get done, probably in the future, I would have more time. So that's one of the reasons I keep doing those till daybreak reading back then. Not just because I have to do it. Normally, things choke like I have to do it. But if I don't want to do it, there's still way. But I was doing it because like I was just learning the skill. Like almost for about close to 5 months or 6 months, majority of my reading was just overnight reading till daybreak, and I'll make sure I do about probably 4 or 5. But this, I was learning, I was actually training myself. I was developing my skill back then. You understand? So that's the commitment there, the consistency as well, and then the frequency. So if it is 2 hours every day you want to be reading, keep reading it. It will pay off. If it is 3 hours or anything, it will pay off. And the funniest thing is that it's not only in school this is applicable. If you say to yourself you want to be reading, let's say 4 hours a day, then you read that throughout the whole year, probably throughout the whole semester. That's a very, very consistency you've developed, and a discipline you've developed. And when it gets to another area of your life, you can apply that same principle to it. So anything you are learning while being a student is not just for your academics, but for your other area of life, or for your other areas of life. You understand? So like the discipline, the commitment, the consistency, learning how to interact with people, learning how to manage your time, and all those stuff. Probably there's still more to say here, but we are going.
And lastly, I think what we should understand now is that these plans that we've highlighted, they can be destabilized. Like, things can happen and then to disrupt your plan. I think what you should do is that you shouldn't just like jump back into the plan. I think you should like pick it back gradually and like find yourself back into it. I think that's what you should do. Jumping back straight into it used to like affect people. I think that's something that I've learned, and I think you should try to. You should pick it up gradually. Whatever way you want to get this message, I think you should like try and like understand what I'm saying in your own time. This is my own time of delivering the message. Your plans can be disrupted. Picking it back really matters, but picking it back gradually really helps too.
So now we are going to end this podcast soon now. So this episode will have probably the part 2 or the part 3, because there are things we have not said, and they are very, very, very important. So thank you for listening to this series. Also, drop a comment if you have any question or all those stuff.
And your reviews and everything.
Very, very important. Very, very important. You see our Twitter there. Probably just send us a DM or email us just there on our Twitter.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for listening, and meditate on these. Meditate on these. And so, servant.
Yeah. At the same time, I think, I don't know, Sha. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.